Appreciate you being here tonight. I know there's a lot more concerned citizens or people that want to be informed than what's here, and I know you'll go back and share your experience tonight. I'm Mark Huntsman. I'm from Fillmore. I've lived here over 40 years. I'm kind of a part of this community a little bit, or a lot. I'm the president and CEO of Sunrise Engineering. I've been with them 30-something years now. I was employee number 14 when I hired on, and it's been fun being the president and CEO over the last few years. We've gone from right under 200 to 450 employees. So it's been a blessing in our lives to be able to come from a rural culture and keep all the rural values alive as we've grown this company. And I have with me my wife, Brenda. She's supported me in everything that I've been involved in. I want to recognize these school board members that have just got into, or trying to get in the game and staying in the game. That's where I started. 8 years I served on the local board here. This is year number 8, chairing, or on the State Board of Education. I've chaired it for 6 years. So experience kind of matters to me, and I think it's helped qualify me for this opportunity here. The other experience that I've had working with the military and outreach and that have all been also very beneficial as resolving problems and helping our service members. But I want to talk about where we're going next. I've got 4 minutes left. Okay,
Well, more like 3.
Okay, 3. So, what's on the horizon here in the state is we're all dealing with inflation, high energy costs. We're all feeling it. We also have before us some other unknowns, what's happening with the drought and water. I spent a lot of time in agriculture the last week or so on what's really big, and a lot of people think it's water. Well, what's bigger than that, besides just the water, is what's happening with our energy supply and reliability. A couple bumps on the grid, and it shuts down a lot of things in the ag. On the horizon, I also see that these are things that the legislature is going to be dealing with moving forward. There's also challenges that we have on the horizons also with, because of this inflation, is on the funding side. You've heard tax things come before in the legislature the last 3 or 4 years trying to get that resolved. There's one solution to it, and I worked with the Speaker of the House this last year as the Chair of the State Board of Education, where it was, how can we remove the sales tax on food and protect the earmark of income tax that's slated for education. We can work through this, and we can continue to support where Senator Vickers was on reducing taxes. There is a solution moving forward. I think it requires people with experience, the people that are in the know. People say, well, what do you know about the legislature? I'm down to my 2-minute warning. When our schools shut down, as chair of the State Board of Education, that following week we had meetings and we started pounding out solutions to get our schools open. Not only open through COVID, that was a big mystery, but to make it so that parents had a choice and an opportunity, because safety was a big thing. We didn't know. Now we're experts of COVID, but we didn't know. And so you had an opportunity. We want to make sure every parent had an opportunity to get their kid back in the classroom if they choose, or online. And it took a lot of work working with the legislature to amend and suspend certain rules and policies that we had to face to make this happen, and we did it. We worked well. I believe I can continue to work on the behalf of Millard County, Juab County, and Tooele County, and the rest of rural Utah. Our rural values are relevant. They do show up at the state capitol regularly, and they need to continue to be there. Thank you for your opportunity to be with you tonight. I ask for your vote and your support. Thank you.
You were very well mannered. I was just
Did
talking.
you say stay well mannered?
You too. Well, you're done in 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes, okay. Well, thanks for having me, you guys. I appreciate being here. I spent a lot of time in Millard County the last couple of months, really for the first part of the year since January. So got to know many of you, a lot of familiar faces out there. And there's some of you that don't know. Those of you that don't know me, I'm Bridger Bolinder. I'm from Grantsville, Utah. My wife Tracy's here with me today. I grew up in Grantsville. We make the joke all the time when we decided to get married, we had to ask our grandpas if we were married, so, or if we were related before we could get married. So I'm running because, so a little bit of my background, I guess. I've got some small businesses that I own and operate in the center of the Twilla Valley. Those businesses have a lot to do with the mining industry. We do construction aggregates, industrial minerals, and we play a lot in the Nevada gold mining industry. So small business, about 60 employees. I'm a blue collar guy. Spend a lot of time in the field. I wear work boots. Some of you that have met me, your commissioners included, I show up in a hat and work boots. So that's kind of me. This isn't the normal attire for me. But I'm running because as our state grows at a rapid rate, it feels like our values are being challenged. And I see that. I don't know if you feel it. We feel it certainly in the Twilla Valley. As I come down here and talk to people in Millard County, it feels the same way. It feels like our voices are not being heard. And, you know, maybe some of that's happening at the state level, but as I talk to you, as I spend time with you individually, it's not what you're telling me. And so for me, I'm committed to representing you in the Utah House of Representatives and to have your voice heard. We've got a lot of opportunities in our state. We've got economic growth coming in. That's a challenge. We welcome those opportunities, but at the same time, we can't afford to let them challenge our values and what we stand for as Utahns, and especially as rural Utahns. It's been an interesting process for me as I've listened and I've had conversations in many of your living rooms and on your porches. And I was able to win 89% of the delegate vote at the state convention. And I asked a lot of delegates through this process, why did you vote the way you voted? And everybody said similar things. They said, because you'll listen. And I'm committed to do that. I've spent time with your great commissioners here in Millard County. They understand some very complex issues that you have that are specific to Millard County. I can't even imagine dealing with some of those things. So it's been a great opportunity to learn from them and to hear some of the issues that we're faced on in this county specifically. Anyway, that's me. I'm running to represent you and to make your voice heard. And I appreciate your vote in the end of June. I still have 3 minutes.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.